7:45 is the time. Welcome back. Well, more and more we are hearing about governments and companies all trying to work to help track the coronavirus spread, and they could do that through the use of cell phone data.
Yeah, it raises all sorts of concerns, especially those related to privacy. Greg Nibbler with Digital Trends joins us live via Skype with the two tech companies that are joining forces to do just that. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? Google and Apple, two huge rivals working together, but that is what they're doing. So they're looking at utilizing basically Bluetooth technology to track where somebody's been. So essentially it's what's called contact tracing. And the idea would be that across platforms, so iOS or Android, you would have this Bluetooth technology that's constantly sending out pings to other phones if you're near them. Now, that would register that just in a database. And if somebody were to be, say, diagnosed with COVID-19, a public health official could then send out a ping to everybody that phone had pinged and let them know that they had possibly come into contact with somebody who was infected.
Wow.
I like it. I know it's Big Brother-ish, but I would like to know if I'd maybe been in contact with someone.
Yeah, but it sounds like this is almost kind of similar to the way that we get like emergency alerts. Is that kind of how this would work in terms of like who they're actually tracking?
I guess from the standpoint of as far as a public official would be the one sending it out, but it would just be notifying the people who had been pinged in this database. And there's a lot of the technical back end that we're still finding out about from Google and Apple about how it will all work. But I think the key thing here from those two partnering up is that it would work across platform, because normally they don't work together very well. Android and iOS, as far as that's because Apple and Google are rivals, but them working together would kind of be a unifying factor. Now, when it comes to the privacy side of things, you would still have to opt in. The Californian government, Gavin Newsom, actually said that they're going to start utilizing this. It's not going to be rolling out until probably mid-May, but they want to work with Google and Apple on this. So local officials would still have to opt in and individuals would have to opt in. But the idea would be that it would make it a lot easier to help contain it. And so if somebody did get, like I said, infected, that they would be able to be notified a lot quicker.
But would personal data be shared, though, if you do opt in?
And that's one of the big things. So technically what Google and Apple are saying is no, that it wouldn't be identifying where you were or that individual. It would just be a unique code that you have. But there's always concerns about that. Could it be co-opted? Could it be hacked? With Google and Apple involved, I would say probably they're very, very keen on that aspect, that people would be concerned. So it would probably be secure, but again, there's a lot of questions with it, and whether or not that's something that people would want to opt in. And then again, if most people don't opt in, then does it even matter anyway? Because if not everybody's opting into it, then it doesn't really work like it should. Yeah,
but it is a big deal. If Google and Apple are going to work on something together, then I would give it a shot. Interesting stuff. Okay, so Greg, for those of us who are stuck at home and in quarantine still, maybe trying to work from home, I love this. You found a website that can kind of help set the mood, remember what it's like to still be in the office.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. We cover a lot of different things at Digital Trends, from the serious stuff to this is just kind of hilarious. For everybody who's working from home now, there are those office sounds that a lot of us are used to, even if it's in the background. This is kind of a funny site. So it comes from a Berlin-based kids creative agency. That's the name of the agency itself. And so it's called an office noise generator. And essentially, that's what it is. You go there, you can click on different things. You can get the sound of a water cooler or somebody typing on a keyboard. You even have like the office whistler, which there's always a whistler in the office, so whether you want to hear that or not, you can click a button and have that go on, somebody pouring coffee. So it's just kind of a funny way to bring that ambient noise of the office to your house.
Yeah, our producer was checking it out this morning. He said, it sounds like you're just in the middle of an office.
Awesome.
It's
yeah.
weird.
Hey, Greg, really quickly,
right?
Rumors about the new iPhone possibly being released soon. Is that a yay or a nay? Do you know?
Yeah, well, what we're hearing is, so it's the iPhone SE, and this is their kind of mid-level, cheaper iPhone. They had one a few years ago, and it looks like they're going to be launching another one. And we think it's either going to launch today or tomorrow, but we're guessing, and it's always hard to tell with Apple, but we think today or tomorrow we could see the launch of that. So it'll be big news once it goes on. We'll have all the details at Digital Trends. We've got kind of a preview of what we think it's going to be, but again, it's Apple, so it's always hard to say, but we think today or tomorrow.
Okay, we know you guys will probably know way before we do, so we'll check in with you when you do. All right, Greg Nibbler from Digital Trends, thanks so much.
You bet.